Hey guys, I'm Rafa, and today I'm going to talk about something that's been a bit overdue. If I can not block the author's name, today I'm going to talk about Axe and Stone by J.F.R. Coates. Was it the Axe and Stone: The Destiny of Dragons? And why I feel like it's been a bit late is that I picked it up 2015. Yeah, the year before last. And I'm like, oh yeah, because okay, for people that don't know, um, JFR Coates is, I think, oh god, how do I put this? JFR Coates is the guy that does Jaffa books, and this was his first novel, and he's got the other one, and then Reborn, and then another one, and then yeah, he's Australian dude, and he's lives in Brisbane, and I was like, oh yeah, I was thinking like, oh yeah, I'm totally gonna read this, and then then like a year passed, and I went to 2016, and I'm like, yeah, I hadn't read your book yet, and then I did a panel on fairy books, and I was very sheepishly awkwardly like, oh, I totally get his books, even though I haven't read it yet. So I felt really bad. A whole year has passed and I hadn't read his book. Because, like, how to put it? Like, he seems like a pretty fucking cool guy. Anyway, so, yeah, so I'm like, look, I'll sit down and read it. Because I guess for people that don't know, I really dislike fantasy. It's just not really my thing. Like, I'll read fantasy every now and then, but I think a lot of the tropes and stuff just don't really resonate with me. Like, but it's all mostly me. But anyway, so all of that is still gonna be pretty heavily biased because I don't want to be a huge dick and be like, oh yeah, your book sucked and whatever. But it didn't. It didn't suck. It was great actually. I really enjoyed it. But there's definitely going to be some hesitation there with me saying anything dreadfully negative because I feel so bad for not reading it for so long. And so yeah, so Axe and Stone, getting into it, is a book about uh, Prince Dragon. He's the Hayrig Anzig, and he's like the second in charge of Clan Laxdil, which is a clan of dragons, and humans are invading their lands. So he goes to the Prince Dragons, like the powerful dragon clan or whatever, to ask them for their help to unite the dragons to fight the humans, and then he has to go on this quest to recover this magic stone that the magic dragons need to be able to help them, and and also mysticism and other plots and, and whatever. So it follows three people, like the perspective changes. So you got I don't know how to pronounce the two draconic names or titles or whatever. There's the D-Drake, which is like the leader of the clan, the head dragon, and then there's the second in charge, is the Hayrig, which is the prince or whatever, or prince or princess, or, and yeah, so it follows Anzac's perspective, this perspective of another dragon from Clan Laxdel, who's Azlak, who's a seer. So he a pretty bad seer, rode with guilt and whatever. I'm like, dude, get over it. Have more confidence. And the other one is his cousin Eileen or Ellen, um, and who's stayed behind to look after Clan Laxdel while the prince, I forget, Anzig is out on his quest, and Anzig's dad, Astra? Is it Asta? I'm pretty sure it's Asta. God, I forgot his name. Okay, I'll come back to this in a second. And he went on to continue fighting the humans. And me forgetting characters' names is just one of the reasons why I suck at reading fantasy. Is I constantly forget character names and which dragon were which. Like, I think I got towards the end of the book and I still couldn't remember who Kali was. I think she was the dragon that was beside Anzic's side at the start of the book, but I'm like, I think that's her. I'm like, which one was the blind one? I was just really struggling to remember, but most of the others I pretty much got it. I couldn't tell the twins apart. But I mean, this is just all me, just sucking at fantasy. Um, because they were pretty distinct, and like the characters were there. Like it's just me. um, but yeah, so it's pretty. It's a pretty cool story. I'm not gonna say run of the mill because I don't read a dreadful amount of fantasy. I could, in the last few years, I could probably count them on one paw. Um, and I guess going into it, I guess a lot of the problems that I had from it personally, this is from like a reader, and I feel bad because I knew 'cause the last book I pretty much read was 1984 by George Orwell. I knew whatever like novel or whatever I read after that, I was just gonna have that in the back of my mind, and I felt really bad. Unfortunately, it was Axon's Stone, and like one of the big uh, problems I kept finding that I wanted answers for is that uh, the dragonkind's pretty much told humans dicks and want to kill them on sight and rah rah rah. But then they talk about having peaceful relations with them a few years ago, maybe a decade ago, and I was just like, wait, how did they know they're all bad? Like, who told them? Like, I guess it was the Zital clan or whatever. Well, I think it states that it was, but like, why do they all just believe it so readily? And like, there's a lot of things where I'm like, these dragons are just, come on, you're too held up on your pride and your bullshit. Like, it's just like so many things that could have been solved. You just weren't arrogant, or like you just you suspect. What was it? If you just suspected people weren't always telling the truth, a lot of things would have been solved. It's like, do dragons not lie in this universe? Like, I guess they don't much. Like, they evade the truth, but they don't outright lie. And I'm just like, ugh, you're just causing problems for yourselves. uh, but no, I think that's pretty fun. That little interaction. Because, I guess it's fun in the writing in the story that he's telling is that, it would be very boring if all these dragons were, they listen and they don't have their quirks and whatever. But I did like that. It's like criticizing the dragons' way of lives. Um, no, it's fun. Um, but yeah, the point with 1984 is I'm like, how did they come to know this? Like, you know, like who's controlling their media that they're so oppressed? I mean, where's the proof? Like, where's the fact? Like, just because someone said something doesn't mean it's freaking true. Like, oh my god. Yeah. So it is a book one of three. I've got book two, which is. Oh my god, where is it? If I lift this up, is it? Nope. If I. Oops. If I lift that. No. Where did I put it? I'm pretty sure I've got the second one. Oh, you do. Here it is. I got book two. So, oh, I actually love that cover a lot more than the first one. The first one's very, dragons on a cliff. And, well, that's a dragon on a rock, but it's pretty cool. Um, um, but yeah, whether I'll read that straight away, I'm not too sure, because it's just me in fantasy. I'm like, I probably will read it, because considering that, book one ended on such a cliffhanger. I was like, I got to the end of the page, I turned the page, and it's like, credits. I'm like, oh, you son of a bitch. Like, I know, Aslak can see the future, but, like, come on. I don't know if there's anything else to say. Obviously I enjoyed it. It's a fun little experience. I think you can really say a lot about a book is that there's when you can take a lot of things away from it. A lot of things stick with you, whether it's characters, scenes, or whatever. And I think Axe and Stone is definitely one of those books. Like I'm not gonna forget Aslak, and he's lowering himself so down, he's sinking into the sand. I'm like, oh my god, stand up. Wings out straight. But yeah, so I've totally lost my train of thought again. But yeah, there's certain lots of things that stick out, and yeah, so I'm gonna take it with me. So I probably will, fingers crossed. I probably will read Impossible Magic in the next month or few weeks. I mean, if I keep saying it, it will probably happen. Now, I do really want to read the other book that he did, Reborn, which is sci-fi, which I'll probably be more invested in that. I think that's the politically correct way to say it without hurting someone's feelings. I think I'll be more intrigued by that just because it's fantasy. Not fantasy, bloody sci-fi. God, get it right. So, yes, speaking of getting it right, Axe and Stone can be picked up from Jaffa Books. I'm pretty sure there's ebooks. There's always an ebook these days. So Jaffa Books is jaffabooks.com. I think he redid his website recently. I better check this because... No, that's the wrong thing. Because I saw a tweet about it, and I'm like, oh yeah, I need to check that. And then I forgot. Which is like my life. So yeah, if you Google Jaffa Books, it comes up. And maybe not. Okay, maybe it's the same website. So I know he is redoing his website. I have asked him about that recently. Actually, I think I asked him that at my panel. But yeah, so yeah, it can be picked up at Jaffa Books. It is book 1 of 3, and I don't think book 3 or 3's out, but 1 of 2's out. So anyway, if you like fantasy, pick it up. It's a great, very very written book. I mean, it is very because the anthropomorphic dragons and yeah, actually, that was a big annoying thing to me when it's like the dragons and humans speak the same human language, but all the dragons are, oh, I'm scared of talking to the humans. I'm like, what? You talk the same language. Just go up and say hello. Like, jeez. Why is there this hesitation? Why is there this misunderstanding if you speak the same damn language? Like, how has no dragons gone and spoken to humans in the last 20 or 30 or maybe years, whatever? Unless dragon years are different than human years. But, yes. Anyway, I think that's been pretty much it. So, yeah. Oh, if you want to know more about the author, he has done a interview on the South Afrifers podcast, which is really, really cool. So if you want to hear more about his writing and the books he did about Drago, I can't remember the name of the series, but it's something. And so if you want to hear more about that, check that out. I've been Rafer, and I'll catch you later.